Mike's on.
All right, a little after 2 here. Mike Piazza coming up in an hour. We will have Brian Billick a little after that on this Tuesday program. James joins us. What's up, James?
Hey, Mike. I just wanted to thank you as a caller. I think one of my best moments with you is when you were on your Yes Days, and my grandpa used to watch you all the time, and you gave him a little shout out and mentioned his name. He talked about it for like the year. It was the highlight of his life.
Terrific.
I was just calling about, I heard you mention it yesterday, and a couple other people on the station mentioned it. If the Giants draft a younger quarterback, that they would, start that younger quarterback over.
I think they should. I think they should.
Yeah, I think it's a little different though comparing it to Warner though, because Warner, yes, he was a veteran with Super Bowl, experience and had won a Super Bowl, but he was only on the team for 1 year, only had a 1-year contract, and really didn't have a legacy with the franchise.
It's not about that. These guys need to play. I think the days of making these guys, the economics of making these guys sit when you draft them that high. If you believe in that quarterback, if you draft the quarterback at the top of the draft, I'm talking about taking a quarterback at the top of the draft. I'm talking about taking a quarterback maybe with the second pick in the draft, maybe the first pick in the draft, maybe they trade for the first pick in the draft. Whatever it may be. If they get Sam Darnold and bring him in here, I think you play him. I think you play him right from the start. I think that's how he develops. I think that's the best thing for him, and put a coach in place and grow together and learn to do something immediately. That's why the guys who thought that the Niners were going to sit Garoppolo all year, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand. Now, Garoppolo's going to make a fortune. He's going to get paid now because the Niners know that, first of all, they know he's the real deal. Secondly, they know on the open market he would get an absolute fortune. People would be going crazy for him. I mean, they'd be lining up to sign him. So they're never going to let him get there. But I think you don't want to go back and pick in this spot again. The Giants went there 14 years ago into this spot and took Eli. Now they go back there this many years later, take another quarterback and develop him and let him play the first year. That's what they did with Eli. That's what I think they should do with whoever they pick. And so I would send Eli packing, or I would give him his release, whatever they want to do, whatever they think makes the most sense to them economically. He's got a $5 million roster bonus the third day of the year, which will be sometime around the second week in March. They can pay him and trade him before the draft, or they can let him go and he'll be a free agent. And I think if that were the case, he would be very quickly on his way to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think he would end up in Jacksonville.
I don't think there's any question.
Because of the Coughlin connection, but it's not like Jacksonville's like this stable, franchise.
Oh, they're good. If they had a quarterback right now, they'd be really good.
I mean, they're doing good. They're in a little bit of a weak division, and last year they were, 3-13.
No, they're real. They're real. They rush the quarterback. They have a great pass rush. They have a running game. They got a couple of players now in the secondary. They got some really good players on that team in the last 3 or 4 years. They have put a lot of good players on that team. If they had a quarterback right now, they're legit. I mean, they have everything else.
Yeah, I mean, if he went there and then Coughlin was running the helm, I would have a little soft spot in them hopefully.
And listen, he's not the coach, Tom. I mean, he's not coaching, but he is there, and he's a very big factor. And they're playing very well. I mean, that team's 9-4 this year. Sully in Holtzville, what's up, Sully?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, what's up?
Listen, on the off chance I don't get through on Friday, I just want to give you my very best wishes.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate listening all these years.
Yeah, thank you.
Mike, 2 things. Stanton, the signing from yesterday, and Headley. First, Stanton, I would love if he were to opt out after 2020. Get 2-3 years out of him, let him be 31 years old, and let him make some more money somewhere else.
Never will.
This way it would only cost the Yankees $50 million out of pocket for the next 3 years.
Never will.
It'd be a bargain. It'd be the 3 best years.
And the odds on him doing that, Sully, are virtually nil. I mean, the guy's looking at 29, 29, 32, 32, 32 million. He's not going to do better than that.
Probably not, but I'm saying best case scenario in my eyes as a Yankee fan, that would be the best.
Yes, but I wouldn't count on it. He's not going to opt out of that. His contract's too good.
I got you. Yeah. Headley today looks like they got out from all, if not all.
They got all of it out. They didn't have to pay any money.
Well,
San Diego took the money.
Leaking.
Yeah.
there's a new thing leaking out that there's a little bit of cash consideration.
Well,
so I
I
don't know
mean,
how
the people I'm trusting on it right now don't think there's any. So maybe if the changes, we'll see. But it looked like once they gave up Mitchell, they took his contract. So that's what it sounds like.
Great.
That's step one. They have two more they have to try to unload, especially the Ellsbury one, which I don't see any way. If they get half of it done, I would consider.
Ben Cashman could go right to the Hall of Fame.
I would consider that a major move. Now,
that'd be amazing.
Now they could do it if they give up enough prospects, but they want to do it without giving up a whole lot of prospects and still get rid of that contract. It's going to be very hard. Plus, he has a no trade. I mean, he has a no trade. He has $68 million guaranteed. He's got a no trade.
And that's Boris, Mike. That Boris is going to tell him to just keep on saying, "I want to win my job. I want to win my job," and that's really more of a bargaining thing rather than a.
You got to buy him out. You got to buy him out of the no trade. You have to buy him out of the no trade. He's going to want more money, and it's already an overwhelming contract. So the odds. I remember you can't get out from under it if you release him. You got to pay the whole thing. So that contract's a problem, and Gardner could wind up going because they can't get rid of Ellsbury. So that could make Gardner's $11 million very meaningful for them, despite the fact Gardner's a better player for them to keep now. And they need to have a little left field versatility here, depending on what they want to do with their two right fielders. Yankees got plenty of right fielders and plenty of DHs right now. Question is how they want to play these guys. That's going to be really the key because who goes over to left? Going over to left at Yankee Stadium is very difficult because it's a very big left field. That's why the Yankees have liked to play left field with a center fielder. They took a center fielder and put him in left field, and he played great defense because it's a vast left field. It's a very hard left field to cover. It's a tough sun field during the day. It's also a very, very big left field. So for a guy like Stan or a guy like Judge, it's a very hard. They're much better in a short, confined area where they can get to the wall, where they can use their height, where they can use their size instead of trying to use their speed and cover all the area you have to cover in left center field. Think of how many times you've seen Gardner make great catches in left field. You can think of a lot of them. Pete in Massapequa, what's up, Pete?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
What's happening?
All right, thanks for all the years of service. You're a true New Yorker.
Thank you. What's up?
Yeah. I was just wondering, the Mets, as an organization, how do they stand by and watch the Yankees do all this? They do absolutely nothing.
They can't run their team based on what the Yankees do, but I understand and sympathize with the Met fan who finds it hard to digest what's going on right now. And there are times where it seems like they're a little tone deaf, and this is one of those times. So I do understand it, but right now it's like they're getting run over by a Mack truck. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, it's just something that is so overwhelming and so beyond their capabilities that there's not much they can do except take the hit. I mean, that's unfortunately the way it's gone for them right now. It really has. So from that standpoint, it's very tough on the Mets. It really is. Jim in Queens, what's up, Jim?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's happening?
I got a final question for you last week. Is there something locally that, you know what, if you think about it, you hate to admit it, or there's something that you wish you would have seen, like a Jets Super Bowl, a Knicks championship, and you know what, you could look back and say, you know what, that would have been fun if it happened. Is there anything? You know, it was the Met Yankee World Series. Anything? Think about it.
No, I saw the Yankee. I never would expect a Jet Giants Super Bowl. That's too much to expect. I saw the Subway Series, and I can tell you, it was one of the most disappointing couple of weeks ever. It was a bust. It was nothing what I thought it would be. It was probably, in the 30 years, it was probably the most disappointing event ever.
I agree.
It had no buzz. It had no electricity.
Is there something that you think, like, you know what, that would have been fun, even though that was disappointing?
I think anytime any of the teams that haven't won a championship would have been fun. I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, I think an NBA Finals here, would be fun again. I think the finals in '94 were fun. I mean, it was a little interrupted by some weird stuff. Remember, Game 5, you had O.J. Simpson. Then they go on the road and they lose Game 6 and 7. So, I mean, you had all that. Plus, the Rangers won that year, which, took away from it a little bit. So I think from that standpoint, it's all you're missing. I mean, we've had a lot of championships. We've gotten plenty from the Giants and plenty from the Yankees, but not a lot from the Mets. I mean, so we did get the Mets into another World Series. But the Subway Series, which everyone always wanted to see, was not anywhere near as good as we thought it would be. Parks in Jersey, what's up?
Hey, Mike. I just wanted to, thank you for all this time. And quick funny story, I called in for the first time on Friday, hoping to get in touch with you, and my wife literally went into labor.
Really?
So
What'd you have?
I couldn't stay on. I had a baby girl.
Oh, congratulations.
Daughter,
congratulations.
Hyper Noel, thank you. And I thought I lost my first time, and thank you for all the years. But listen, it's been great listening to you. And one other thing I really need to thank you for is, listen, my dad had successful prostate cancer surgery, and while he was recovering out on Long Island, it was an award that you and your wife had sponsored. So I really want to thank you for that and all the years.
Oh, it's St. Francis. Well, that's a great, great place, great people, and we just do a little bit there. So, but that's great that's the case, and I hope they're doing well.
Yeah, everybody's great, and I look forward to your next chapter. I know you obviously can't talk, but I hope at some point you and the Mad Dog connect again. But thanks for everything.
Maybe we'll bump into each other somewhere along the way. You never know. John in Brooklyn, what's up, John?
Hey, Mike, how are you today?
Good, what's happening?
Listen, everybody, look, good luck, and I really appreciate the George Steinbrenner statements with the general pat music in the background.
Absolutely.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, missives were fun. I loved those. And George liked them. And that's the amazing thing is he liked them. He actually got into them. He got a kick out of them.
Oh, I know you had a lot of fun with it, and it was great radio, and it was classical radio. You're not going to hear that anymore.
Yeah, that was fun stuff. I mean, the Mike and the Mad Dog Show created a lot of stuff. So, I mean, it's nice to be imitated, and we've been imitated for a long time. Matthew in Middletown, what's up, Matthew?
Hey, Mike, thanks for taking my call. Just want to say I'm 29 years of age, and for the last 10 years, I've just enjoyed your show, and thank you very much. That being said, I'm a Jets fan, Mets fan, and a Michigan Wolverines fan.
Right.
So needless to say, I mean, I'm pretty much just looking forward to Michigan playing all the time. With the Outback Bowl coming up, I mean, they have South Carolina, which isn't going to be an easy matchup, in my opinion. And with that being said, do you think that the outcome of that game will have any sort of, determination on if Harbaugh possibly
I don't know what he wants
NFL?
to do. I don't think so. I mean, Harbaugh has got to decide whether I think he has to look in the mirror and decide whether it's more important for him to stay in there and figure out a way to draft the players who will beat Ohio State, Michigan State, or is it more important for him to go back and maybe try to win a Super Bowl, with say luck in Indianapolis or with the Bears?
I mean, yeah, Mike. Because in your honest opinion, I mean, these college kids probably look up to him, and then for him to go back to the NFL, he's just going to go into a locker room full of personalities. I don't see why he would do that. You know?
The question is he content with the way? See, some people don't like the recruiting process, others do. Some people are frustrated by the recruiting process in college, others aren't. So I think he knows by now. Now, Michigan's his alma mater. He loved Bo Schembechler. We know that. The question is, which one does he want to? Now, he's never going to be happy either place. You know that. That's who he is.
Of course.
I mean, he's just not. He's not a happy guy. He's a miserable guy. But the point is, he's a great coach. The question is, where's he going to be happiest, or where's he going to at least be most fulfilled? He's never going to be happy. And I don't know the answer. We're going to find out. Do I think the bowl game this year will affect it? No, it's been a bad year for them. I mean, they've lost games to teams they should have lost to. They haven't really gone out of their way and beaten a lot of people. So it hasn't been a good year for them. So it's something that he hopes to build on. But right now, I'd say this year was really disappointing. We'll see. Indianapolis is after him. Chicago is after him. Will they get him? I don't know. We're going to wait and find out. Back after this.